All right, give us a moment.
I don't know why we got to turn that off.
Well, hey, sorry, folks, we're not doing the Recruiting Insider, but you are looking live at the Michigan Insider Preview. I'm Josh Newkirk along with Mr. Sam Webb. Michigan hosts #1 Oregon today. Can Michigan muster enough offense to get the upset win and upset the Ducks, the team of many uniforms, and can the Amazing Blue get it done today, Sam? Let's talk with the offense. We had a 2-quarterback system last week. Davis Warren, Alex Orji. What are your sort of expectations there, and what does Michigan need to do to score some points with the team?
Hey, man, people might want to talk recruiting because that might be the most exciting thing about today from a Michigan standpoint.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm just saying because, with the news of the pregame injury report, with both starting corners out, Will Johnson out today, I think that was expected. Jair Hill, I heard the news earlier in the week that he was likely out for this game. So that's going to be tough sledding for Michigan with both starting corners out for this contest. I mean, here's the glass half full perspective. The glass half full perspective is that should limit the aggression if you're Wink Martindale, right?
Yeah.
That should limit the aggression defensively.
Zone, got to keep those guys back.
Yeah, you should really be playing really soft on the back end. I think that would mean you would play, make them be methodical offensively. I would play that way anyway. You want them to go 8 to 12 play drives.
Yeah.
Make them earn it. Lean on your front four. That would be my strategy. Try to gamble and see if your front four can make havoc plays. Maybe they make them play behind the sticks. Maybe they force a turnover. Maybe Oregon makes some mistakes. And if they score on 8 to 12 play drives, fine. Tip your cap to them.
Live with it.
But that way you shorten the game, right? That's the key. Get to the fourth quarter and still be in the game. That's the best formula if you're Michigan. On the other side of the ball, you're running the ball again. All in the concept of shortening the game. You don't want them scoring in 2 or 3 plays. If Oregon is scoring in 2 to 3 plays, you're going to get blown out of this game. So that's the bad recipe if you're Michigan. Yeah. If defense is all about leaning into your advantage, and I think Michigan does, even as good as Oregon's offensive line is one of the best in the country, I think Michigan has an advantage up front with their defensive line.
On offensively with Michigan, you mentioned that getting the run game going. I'm going to be looking at, can they get the run game going with Davis Warren in the game? Because that's where they've struggled. You're looking at 2 to 3 yard runs. They need 5 to 6 yard runs. They need to be able to gash this Oregon defense. They need to get some big runs. It can't just happen with Alex Orji on the field because he's just too limited in the passing game. It's going to be interesting to see how they juggle it and how many snaps Orji gets, because I think that's and what he's able to bring to the table, rushing the football, and I'm looking for that play action pass.
Yeah, it's a dilemma. It's hard to tell what their strategy was in the first half because they didn't get a whole lot of snaps. Maybe they intended to use Alex more in the first half, but we know that is a key part of their run formula. It has to be, especially given what we know their strategy is going to be. It's going to be a lot like Michigan State's. And that is quarters, hard triggering safeties. It's going to look at the snap of the pre-snap is going to look like the box isn't loaded. The safeties are going to be back. But when the ball snaps, like you saw at Michigan State, safeties trigger hard. Defensive coordinators, you watch Vance Bedford, they'll tell you quarters is a run defense. It's with the way a lot of teams play it, with the way Michigan State plays it, with the way Oregon plays it, with those safeties who trigger real hard on run action. And so Michigan State, we counted it. If you watch the film study, 11 times last week, safeties tackled running backs within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. They were triggering really hard. Michigan's answer for that, +1 running with the quarterback. Really, really effective. So now we are calling quarterback. It's not zone reading. This is my quarterback is going to run the football. My running back is an extra blocker. We are accounting for that extra man in the box. It was the box balancer. was a counter to those hard triggering safeties, and it worked. I don't think that's going to work against Oregon as effectively. Oregon has better players. So Michigan, to your point, when Alex Orji's in the game, you probably have to throw the football with him a couple of times. And also to your point, when Davis is in the game, you can't just concede that you can't run the football.
Right.
You can't just concede that. So 2 things. I think they're going to have to zone read with him a couple of times to present him as a run threat. And then, like you said, play action passing. I mean, they're going to have to make them pay by when those safeties are running up hard on that run action. You're going to have to throw over it.
You have to test them.
And it can't just be on trick plays. Yeah, you're going to have to throw some trick plays at them, but you're going to have to throw over the top with just your conventional play action passing and hope that you can block them. But you're going to have to throw over the top a couple of times and hopefully hit a couple of them. If you can't hit it, then you just have no hope in this game. But you got to take some shots in this kind.
Big game Don has to come through today. Michigan has to have a player, have a game of the year. Big game Don has to do it. Edwards has to be that guy that we've always expected him. He hasn't. We haven't seen it in small doses. He does it. He did it in the playoffs last year. They need him to be that guy today. Can he do it? We'll see. Also, Dillon Gabriel.
Yes, sir. Go Blue.
Dillon Gabriel.
Hey, hold on. Show my shirt. The worst state.
then Dillon Gabriel, Heisman hopeful. Looks like he's the front runner right now in Vegas. What are your thoughts on Michigan stopping him?
Yeah, I don't even know what your question was.
Dillon Gabriel. Thoughts
Yeah.
on Michigan containing him? I don't think you can stop him, but thoughts on he's the Heisman front runner right now. You gotta sort of you gotta press it.
Front four. I don't think you send a whole lot of pressure in this game. You got to resist the urge to do that because he is a great improv quarterback. So you leave your secondary, your back seven at his mercy. If you're sending a lot of pressure, I don't think those matchups in the secondary are a hold, especially without your 2 starting corners. So you don't want to do that. I think your front four can get there. I think he's shown himself susceptible to throwing it to you if you get pressure in his face as well. So rely on your front four to get there, and hopefully rush lane integrity is a big deal. You don't want to, do what you did against some of these other quarterbacks earlier in the season, like Quinn Ewers, where you allowed him to, get outside and step up in the pocket. You got to be able to maintain your rush lane integrity against Dillon Gabriel. He'll carve you up. 3rd and long.
Got to get off the field on 3rd and long. Cannot give up first downs. Michigan that's been their kryptonite all season. I want to throw out. All right, let's just get to the prediction, Sam. I know you got to get back on the radio. Yeah. Give me your prediction. Who wins this game and why?
Yeah, I think Oregon wins this game. I just, with all the injuries, Michigan hasn't scored 30 points in a game this season, and it's hard to predict them doing it in this kind of. I think you got to get to 30 to win it, and score. With them not having done it, I can't all of a sudden say they're going to do it. So I think Oregon's going to win this game. I'm going to go them winning it 38-24.
Wow, you got Michigan scoring 24. I'm going to say this. Always a key stat. The West Coast teams coming to the East Coast. East Coast teams going to the West Coast. All the Big Ten teams struggle going out west. Same thing happens when a West Coast team comes to the East Coast. We'll see if that plays a factor. It's never easy taking that long trip. I'm telling you, but I still like the Ducks. 35-14. I got to see some today in offense. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, recruiting-wise, I think it's going to be a big day for Michigan. I've already put in a crystal ball for Grayson Littleton to flip from Clemson, another top 100 guy. I like Michigan. I'm going to put in another crystal ball. Woo! I'm going to put in another crystal ball coming up really quick for another top 247 guy and Elijah Dotson. Derek Meadows is on his way, a 5-star coming in from LSU. People are asking about Bryce Underwood. Is he here? It's not even game time yet. So we'll see if he shows up. But, that's another one that they're looking at. Trying to think who else is going to be here today. A lot of guys. Shameless to be here.
So if you haven't signed up for our latest deal, I think it's time to get a subscription, don't you think?
Absolutely. A lot of guys.
Hey, you know where all the inside recruiting information is. You got the king of Michigan recruiting right here. Remember, get on there, get on the boards. That's going to do it for our pregame show. For Sam Webb, I'm Josh Newkirk for the Michigan Insider.
Man, I can't get recruited.